In this video, we are going to look at the probabilities or proportions or percentages of sample means that we expect to be greater than a certain value or less than a certain value when we have a normally distributed population, distribution or population, and we know what the population mean is, we know what the population standard deviation is, and we have been given or we also know what our sample size is. So here goes, here's the example. DDuck Incorporated wants the mean length of its cartoons to be 26 seconds. Assume the distribution of cartoon length follows the normal distribution with a population standard deviation of 2 seconds. Suppose we select a sample of 14 cartoons produced by DDuck Incorporated. Right, and here are my questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this calculator here and I'm going to open it up in Excel. So file, download it as an Excel file, open it up in Excel. And click Enable Editing. Right, so I'm going to go back to the question. I'm going to copy this question, put it at the bottom of my calculator. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got all the information about the population distribution. So I'm going to put it in there. So the population mean is 26 seconds. Population standard deviation is 2, and the sample size is 14. That's all given. Note, in this question, we are expected to round the z-scores. That's how come I have added that in there, 2 decimal places. Right, so let's go to the first question. What percent of sample means do we expect, what percent of sample means do we expect to be greater than 27.25 seconds? So you can go to this pink bit of the calculator here and we can just type in 27.25 seconds, right? And there is my proportion that we expect to be larger than 27.25, and we can paste that in there as value. Right, now the question, it states you want percentages and also you want to have it 2 decimal places. Right, Next question, they want to know what percent of sample means will be greater than 24.5 seconds. So we can just go back to the same part of the calculator and change that to 24.5. Once again, there's my proportion, and I'm going to paste this as a value, and then I'm going to change it into percentage and add 2 decimal places. In the third question, what percent of sample means will be greater than 24.5 but less than 27.25? Right, well, we've actually worked out, we've got all the information we need. What we can do very simply is we can say, right, we expect that percentage to be less than 24 or greater than 24, and we expect that percentage to be greater than 27.25. Right. Therefore, we expect 98.78 to fall within that range. We can do it in another way. We can also just, if you look at this calculator, in this sort of orangey bit of the calculator here, we can just type those values in, 24.5 and 27.25. And with a bit of luck, these proportions will coincide. So let's copy that and paste it as a value. There we have it, and they do match, 2 decimal places. Right. The last question, what is the probability that a sampling error will be less than 1.5 seconds? So there's 2 ways we could do this. One is, if you look at this, if you look at the last calculator, it calculates the proportions that will be greater than a certain value. So I could just type in 1.5 there, and I get that percentage there. I get that proportion there, right? Now, oops. I'm going to paste it as a value, right? But in order to work out, so that's the proportion which we expect to be greater than 1.5 seconds. So to work out the proportion that we expect to be less, what we can do is we can say 1 minus that value, right? And a note, they're just saying they wanted as what is the probability? So here we're just going to leave it as such and make this 2 decimal places. Whoops. Okay, 1. Okay, make it a bit bigger. Right, now another way we could possibly do this, we could work out the proportion of sample means that we expect to be between. Now note, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the sampling error 1.5 seconds, and I'm going to take the mean 26 and I'm going to subtract 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to make that 24.5. Same, and then I'm going to take that mean there and I'm going to add 1.5 seconds. So 26 plus 1.5, so 27.5, right, which means we expect 99.5% of means to be in that range, right? So it does match up, right? Guys, this calculator is aimed as a guide. If you have any suggestions on how to improve it, well, please let me know. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you in another video.